Hey everyone, I got a bunch of books from the library, a bunch of Warhammer books. Sometimes I do book reviews. Angel of Darkness, it's about Dark Angels. So far this book seems to be one big conversation between the chaplain and the chapter master. He was leader of a chapter. And it's kind of boring. It's basically one big conversation between two or three Dark Angels, and that's basically the whole book. I've seen like two or three fights, and that was it. I started reading the book today, and I was skimming through it, and it's just not a lot happens. There's no real plot. Um, so yeah, this one here I can't really recommend. It's not very interesting. There's no like plot. Nothing really happens. Um, I guess if you guys want to know the state of the Dark Angels, this would be an interesting read, but it's not very good. Uh, Voice of Mars. Voice of Mars is an Iron Hand book. Uh, but the first like three chapters is all about the Eldar, and then you have all these other factions in the book, and the more I read it, the more I'm like, it's not really an Iron Hand book. There's too many people in it. It really should be just the Iron Hands, and that's it. The Salamander books, they're all about the salamanders, and there's only a few people in it. This book here has just way too many characters, I think. Um, and again, this one here is mostly talking. I skimmed like half the book, and there's like no fights. So, this one here, I don't think I can recommend. This one here is probably a skip. I did start reading it today. Maybe I rushed to the, maybe I rushed it. Maybe it is a good book. But I read like a bunch of pages, and as far as I can tell, nothing really happens. So this one here I can't really recommend. Um, this one here, this is book 3 of the Armin series, according to the introduction. And this one here, he mostly talks to like spirits, and he tries to figure everything out. As far as I can tell, not a lot happens. He does talk to Magnus. I guess he's trying to find Magnus, even though I'm pretty sure Magnus attacks Gilliman. So I'm not sure. I am a bit confused on the lore there. I'm not sure exactly what happens there. But I think this is another book that I can't recommend. I skimmed through it for a while. I read a couple pages, and this is another book where just not a lot happens, even though it is the finale. So this is another book I just cannot recommend. This book here, I skimmed a couple pages, and there seems to be stuff blowing up. So this one here I have not really looked at, but so far stuff blew up, which is already, I think stuff blowing up is interesting, especially in Warhammer. So this book here is already the most interesting one. This book here seems pretty good. It's about Imperial Guard. According to the first page, it's about Imperial Guard fighting off Chaos. I'm not sure what faction Chaos. They don't say what faction of Chaos it is. It just says Chaos. But it's a 3-book Imperial Guard. I'm a big fan of Imperial Guard. So it's a 3-book Imperial Guard series with some pretty cool stuff in it. So I think this one here is alright. I only read like 2 pages of it. This one here seems to be alright. This one here, I'm on chapter 7. And so far, not a lot happened so far. Not much happened. But I did read chapter 7. I'm, all the way. I read every page to chapter 7. And it is getting interesting. I feel like it's building up to something. But I haven't got to that point yet. So far, it's just been building and building and building. But not a whole lot happened yet. This one here I can't recommend so far. Not until I get to the interesting part. So far, it's not very interesting. But I think it is building up to something. So, this one here is okay. It's an okay book so far. It's not great. D. Gray Man. D. Gray Man's a manga that I've been reading. I'm on 27, so big fan. D. Gray Man's amazing. I don't really understand what's going on, but lots of good action scenes, and I really like the art. The art is great. I'm just a big fan of the art. The art is just really, really good. So that one I do recommend. This book here is very strong stuff. It tells you exactly what happens to Itachi. So this book ends right when Itachi attacks his clan, which I think is like the first episode of Naruto. It's like, actually I don't remember, but one of the first episodes of Naruto, Itachi attacks his clan, and this is book 2, Midnight. This is book 2 of Itachi's story, and it's a very detailed book, and it tells you basically every day what Itachi's life was, which is really interesting. You don't see too often in every day. They go into every day of his life. What he did every day. And I think it's really good. This is actually a really, really good book. And the first Naruto book was really good, too. Now, I did read Sakura's story. So there's Itachi's story and a Sakura story. Now, Sakura's story, that one sucked. That was a bad book. That was a really bad book. And then I read Sasuke's story. Sasuke's story was okay. It was pretty disappointing, but it was okay. So out of all the books, I think I would recommend this one. This one's pretty good. I definitely recommend D. Gray Man. I read, every page. The DVD is really good too. If you want to, the DVD anime, I got that too. The DVD anime is really, really good. So that's something I'd recommend. And yeah, I guess that's it. The next book I'm gonna read is Godblight, which is book 3 this is book 3. It's part of a trilogy. So I'm gonna try and read Godblight. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Yeah. I really did skim through these books. So maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far. Uh, thanks for watching. Bye.